What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Cage My IQ. As always, I'm your host, D-Bake. Today, we'll be previewing Bellator 272, which is headlined by Sergio Pettis versus Kyoji Horiguchi for the Bellator Bantamweight Championship. As always, before I go into my breakdown of the four main card fights, I want to tell you guys this is Cage My IQ, the best place for MMA content. You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch at the handles to the left. We, of course, are partnered with the Fighters First Network. So if you could go to YouTube, type in at Fighters First, and subscribe to the YouTube channel at Fighters First. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so whenever I put out content for Cage My IQ, you never miss any of the episodes that I put out several times a week. And please also smash the like button and leave us a comment on this video and let us know what you think and let us know who you think is going to win this Friday night on Bellator 272. And of course, we do have merch out now at firstfirst.shop, as you see right there. Firstfirst.shop has several collections of shirts out from the tune-up crew with Brandon Catino. We got the Art of MMA collection. We even got the legendary collection. And of course, we can't forget ours only, the Cage My IQ collection. All you got to do is go to www.fightersfirst.shop, scroll down to the Cage My IQ collection, and check out the shirt and the hoodie that we have out right now. We just launched the merch a month or two ago, so they're new and hot. And I'm wearing the shirt right here. As you see, it's very comfy. You don't even have to put in the wash to wear it. It comes in right away, soft, and it just feels great. So definitely check out our merch, buy our shirt or the hoodie, and hit us up on social media on Instagram or Twitter and let us know what you think. But definitely support the show and buy one of our merchandise at FightersFirst.shop. Now let's break down the action for you on Bellator 272. As you see right here, we got a four-fight main card. The first fight on the main card will be middleweight matchup between Johhny Eblen going up against Collin Huckbody, of course, in the middleweight division. As you see there, you got Diamond Hearts, which is Johhny Eblen. He's coming in as the minus 1,000 huge favorite. He fights out of Boca Raton, Florida. He's 29 years old, 186 pounds, 6'1 with a 74-inch reach, and he trains out of American Top Team, whereas his opponent, Huckbody, is the plus 625 huge underdog. He trains out of St. Cloud, Minnesota. He's 27 years old, 185 pounds. He's 6'3 with a 76-inch reach, and he trains out of the MMA lab. First, we got Johhny Eblen going right here. Check out his background. He has beaten Travis Davis by decision. He beat Daniel Madrid by left hook to hammer fist round one. He beat Tara Johnson, Mauricio Alonso, and Chauncey Foxworth by decision. He beat Tyler Lee by strikes, Wayman Carter by guillotine, beat Raymond Gray by strikes round one, and he beat Rain Collier by round one strikes. So as you see there, in his Shamrock days, he was beating people by finish, but ever since he's come into the UFC, he's been more of the ground and pound, take you down and just control you on the ground and hit you on the ground, win by decision, or ground and pound you to victory in the one fight against Daniel Madrid. He takes you down several times a fight. He has the big time wrestling background that he utilizes, and he's on the rise here, which is why he's the minus 1,000 favorite. Then you've got Collin Huckbody. Check him out in his last fights. Of course, he beat Nick Krause by decision, lost by decision, Aaron Jeffrey, who in the Dana White Contender Series lost to Brendan Allen by submission. You got Aaron Phillips. He beat by KO TKO round two. He beat Kyron Bowen by arm triangle, Seance Jordan by arm triangle, and Nick Wagner by arm triangle. So you got three straight victories that he had where he won by submission. He beat Charlie Brown by decision, Tom Krenzel by decision, and he lost to Bevan Lewis by decision, and he beat Riot Wall by arm triangle choke. So his submission of choice is definitely the arm triangle. So he seems like a grappler that likes to attack your arm and look for submissions if he has the chance to. And this will also be his Bellator debut coming up. So he has a tall task at hand against Johhny Eblen. And what I see in this matchup is I see Johhny Eblen just taking care of him. They're going to be grappling up a lot, but I can see Eblen throwing a little bit of strikes on the feet and to set up his takedowns. I think I see him taking him Collin Huckbody down, use his weight and his wrestling background to just keep him down on the ground and just throw those ground and pound strikes that he's known for doing. And once he gets you on the ground, it's game over because he is strong as an ox and his hands are very hard. And if he doesn't get that ground and pound victory, I just see him taking him Huckbody down 3, 4, 5, 6 times and to win by decision with over 10 to 12 minutes of control time. So in the first fight on the main card, I got Johhny Eblen defeating Collin Huckbody by unanimous decision victory in this fight. In the next fight, we got a bantamweight matchup that shows Josh Hill going up against Jared Scoggins. In this fight, Josh Hill is coming in the minus 115 near even favorite. He trains out of Stony Creek, Ontario, 35 years old, 136 pounds. He's 5'6", 66.5-inch reach, and he trains out House of Champions MMA gym and Josh's MMA gym, whereas Scoggins is minus 105 near even underdog. He trains out of Spartanburg, South Carolina, United States. He's 26 years old, 126 pounds. He's 5'7" with a 69.5-inch reach, and he trains out Revolution Mixed Martial Arts Gym. First, we got Josh Hill coming in. And look at his background. In his last fight, he lost to Rafian Stotts by unanimous decision victory. It was a pretty interesting fight. He did pretty good in it. It's just that Rafian Stotts was able to edge out Josh Hill in this fight by doing a little bit more work on the ground and on the feet. Before that, he had decision victories over Eric Perez and Vinicius Zani. He beat Gilberto Aguilar by round 1 rear naked choke. He beat Jesse Arnett by referee stoppage. He lost to Taylor Lapalus by split decision. He beat Gracic and Gabarian by round 1 rear naked choke. And he beat Xavier Alue by split decision and lost to Marlon Moraes in World Series of Fighting by round 2 head kick and punch. So he has faced a big time opponent in the past in Marlon Moraes. So as you see there, he's more of a decision guy. He has been able to pick up a couple of victories via stoppage, but ever since he's come to Bellator, he is 2-1 with decisions in all 3 fights, with the big loss to Stotts that could have went either way going into the last round. Then you got his opponent, Scoggins. If we look at him, he's coming in, and this is his debut in Bellator as well as Huckbody in the last fight. Yeah, he's coming from the CFFC where he had 1 appearance there. He beat Thomas Vasquez by decision. He beat Kenny Porter by decision. Dexter Wright by a referee stoppage from strikes, round 1. He beat Cody Durden, current UFC veteran, by decision. He beat Juan Prata by a decision. He lost to Jesse Bazzi by decision. He beat Tabor by decision. Beat Marcus Levister by decision. He beat Rene Pure and Tayshawn Artre by TKO round 1. And then he beat Rodney Jordan by KO TKO. So in his early days, he was able to win by finish, but ever since then, he's been the decision guy, always going to the bell, except for the one stoppage from strikes that he had against Dexter Wright. And in this, that's why this is a tough call to make, because even though he's making his debut, he does have that background where he's fought a couple of good veterans, and he's fought to decision. He seems to have pretty decent cardio, and he knows how to edge out victories, especially in his last couple of fights. And with this fight, I feel like I gotta go with the known factor in Josh Hill, just for the fact that he took the number one contender Rafian Stotts to the limit in the last fight. He has that grappling background. He can strike with you, as you see there, and he's the number one contender. And it's crazy to think that he was number one until he lost to Stotts. And he's fighting down big time, which makes you wonder if the guys are just not free and they don't want to fight, or he just took the next fight that he could and didn't want to wait. But with this fight, I got Josh Hill by submission. I think he's going to be able to control the fight on the ground. Scoggins is going to be a threat on the feet, and I think he's going to challenge him. But I think Scoggins is going to make a small mistake, and that's where Josh Hill will capitalize. So with this, I got round one submission victory by Josh Hill over Jared Scoggins. In the co-main event of the evening, we got a featherweight matchup between Emmanuel Sanchez going up against Jeremy Kennedy, as you see right there. Emmanuel Sanchez is coming in the minus 225 favorite. He fights out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He's 31 years old, 145.3 pounds. He's 5'9" with a 70-inch reach, and he trains at Rufus Sport MMA Academy, whereas his opponent Jeremy Kennedy comes in plus 180, slight underdog. He trains out of Las Vegas, Nevada. His nationality is Canadian. He's 29 years old, 145.5 pounds. He's 5'11" with a 71-inch reach, and he trains out Extreme Couture Gym. As you see there, we'll start out with Emmanuel Sanchez. He's known for his movement, move around, throwing combinations. Usually, he's tall for the division, and he's able to throw combinations, and he's challenged everybody at the top of the division. As you see there, he's on a 2-fight losing streak. He lost to Mads Burnell by decision. I loved everything about that fight. Those guys went at it, and I just think Mads Burnell was able to just edge it at the end. He lost to Patricio Pitbull by round one guillotine choke. That was the rematch. He beat Daniel Weichel by decision. He beat Taiwan Claxton by triangle choke round 2. He beat Georgi Karakian by decision. He lost to Patricia Pitbull in their first fight by decision, where it went all the way down to round 5. They went at it the first and traded with rounds for the first 4 until Patricio picked up the round 5 and edged out the decision victory. He beat Sam Cecilia by arm triangle. He beat Daniel Strauss by triangle. He beat Marcos Galveo by decision. He beat George Karakian by decision. He lost to Daniel Reichel by a split decision. He beat Daniel Pineda by a split decision. And he beat Justin Lawrence and Henry Corrales by split decision. And he lost to Pat Cran by unanimous decision. And he beat Alejandro Villarobos by decision. Plus, lastly, he beat Stephen Banajad and Brady Havermel by submissions round 1. He has more of the complete game compared to others. He can beat you on the feet and out volume you, which is usually what he does. There's a jab. There's combinations, and he just puts in more volume and moves around and has good cardio. Or he can find holes in your game and just lock in a submission and make you tap out. It doesn't matter with him. He's developed a really all-around game. and there's a reason why he's a favorite in his matchup. Whereas his opponent, Jeremy Kennedy, if you look at him, he did a grappling bout where he lost to Edmund Najmi by rear naked choke in overtime. In his last fight in Bellator, he lost to Adam Borks by decision. He beat Matt Bassetti by decision. He fought to a no contest against Daniel Pineda by guillotine choke. He beat Luis Rafael Laurentino and Steven Seiler by ground and pound and decision. He fought Luis Rafael Laurentino a second time where he lost by head kick and punches. So he was able to reverse that, like I see here. And he won by ground and pound there. He beat Murat Magomedov by TKO. He beat Daniel Pilo by elbows, round one. And in his last fight in the UFC, he lost by ground and pound to Alexander Volkanovski. So he has a pretty decent career, switching over from UFC to PFL to Bellator. So he's done all three promotions in the past 4 or 5 years, which is crazy to think. He's had minor success in UFC and PFL, and it seems that he's looking to right the ship now in Bellator, where he's 1-1, but he did have a good fight against Adam Borks. But I feel like in this matchup, I think the experience of Emmanuel Sanchez is going to be too much for Jeremy Kennedy. I feel like what you're going to see is Sanchez just move around. It's going to be like him using his cardio to his advantage. He's just going to pick apart Kennedy, throwing the jab, the combos, overhand left and right at him, moving around, just keep moving out of the way. Rack up the volume, and I see Emmanuel Sanchez just easily win by unanimous decision victory over Jeremy Kennedy. I don't think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be easy day at the office for Sanchez, and he's going to just get himself right back into the win column so we can see if he can get back into that title contention sometime in the near future. But once again, this co-main event, I got Emmanuel Sanchez defeating Jeremy Kennedy by unanimous decision victory. And the main event of the evening, we got the bantamweight championship matchup between Sergio Pettis defending his belt against Kyoji Horiguchi. First, you got Sergio Pettis, who's coming in as the plus 145 underdog, and he's the champion. He fights out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He's 28 years old. He's 134 and a half pounds. He's 5'6" with a 69-inch reach advantage. And he trains out of Ruger Sport MMA Academy, whereas Kyoji Horiguchi is the minus 180 slight favorite. He's the challenger. He's from Japan, but he trains out of Coconut Creek, Florida. He's 31 years old, 134 pounds. He's 5'5" with a 66-inch reach advantage, and he trains out of American Top Team gym. We're starting with Sergio Pettis up here, the Phenom. In his last fight, of course, that you saw, he dominated Juan Archuleta by unanimous decision victory to claim the bantamweight championship. He just was able to be the faster guy. He has great cardio. He throws combinations. He attacks you. He's just very precise with his striking, and he knows what he needs to do, and he does it. In the fight before that, he beat Ricky Bandejas by decision. He beat Alfred Kazakian by round one guillotine choke. He beat Tyson Nam by decision in his last fight on UFC. He lost to Rob Font and Formiga by decision. He beat Joseph Benavides by split decision. He lost to Henry Ceruto by decision. He beat Brandon Moreno, the current UFC champion, by decision. And he beat John Moraga by decision. So just like I said before, other than the slight chances that he gets a guillotine, which he goes for at times in fights, he's most likely going to just pick you apart with the volume and win rounds by just out punching you and moving around and using that cardio that he has to his advantage. Whereas his opponent, Kyoji Horiguchi, comes in. He's 29-3, as you see there. He's going to be making his return to the Bellator octagon. He had a small one fight, one off against Darian Caldwell, and where he did win the title, but he had to vacate it due to injury, and then he went back to Ryzen, and now he has signed since then a multi-fight deal with Bellator, so it won't just be a one-off here. He's going to look to fight multiple times in Bellator on Showtime, but in his last two fights, he fought Kai Azakura. In the first fight, he lost by round one straight, right straight and punches, and then he revenged it with the TKO, a round one victory to claim the Rising Championship, which he's gonna relinquish now to go to Bellator. And before that, he of course took the title from Darian Caldwell by decision before he had to drop it. He beat Ben Wynn by round one right hook. He beat Darian Caldwell by guillotine in a kickboxing bout. He lost to Tenshin Nasawa by decision. He beat Hiramasa Kubo by decision. He beat Ian Call by left hook. He beat Shintaro Ishiwatari by right hook, round two. He beat Manel Kape by round three, head and arm choke. He beat Gabriel Oliveira by round one, left hook. He beat Hideo Takoro by round one, over right. And then he beat Yuki Matoya and Ali Bagatimov by decision. He's fought everywhere from UFC to Ryzen to now Bellator, but he's the guy that goes, he can win by decision, but he's also known for finishing guys or choking them out. It just depends on what's going to happen in the fight. And I think he's going to be a big challenge for Sergio Pettis, because Sergio Pettis has been able to be finished in the past, and not lately. He's been winning by decision. I think in this fight you're going to see a lot of Sergio Pettis circling around Horiguchi. He's going to come in, land combinations, come out. He's going to pick and choose where he comes in and out of the location of Horiguchi. And I feel like Horiguchi is going to be the one coming in with the blaze of thunder, and he's going to come in with just the explosion, and he's going to look to finish the fight against Pettis. And I feel like this is going to be a tight one. I think they're going to rotate the first couple rounds. You're going to have Pettis with the volume, but then you're going to have Horiguchi with the big shots that are going to rock Pettis. And I think it's going to come down to the championship rounds. And I feel like with this fight, I'm going to go with the underdog here. Actually, I'm going to go with it's not the underdog. I'm going to go with the favorite here. I'm going to go with the challenger, Kyoji Horiguchi. And I'm going to go with round four knockout via left hook here, because I have a feeling that his knockout shots are going to slow down the pace for Pettis. I think he's going to hit him. He's going to rock Pettis, and then he's going to get Pettis off of his game plan that he's going to have started early on. And I just have a feeling that Kyoji wants to win that belt back, and that's why he's the favorite, because he has that experience. He's fought the guys in Bellator already before, beating Darian Caldwell twice. And Pettis needs to step up and defend the belt. But I think that Horiguchi is going to catch him with a mistake, drop him, and he's going to win the belt again by round four TKO knockout. So for this championship matchup, I got Kyoji Horiguchi defeating Sergio Pettis by round four TKO via left hook. Before we wrap things up with the Bellator 272 preview show here on Cage My IQ, I just want to give a shout out to our sponsor at High Tide Herbal. All you need to do is watch this video and you'll know why.
Offering high-quality, sustainable products with all-natural, lab-tested ingredients, it's High Tide Herbal's mission to help others live the longest, healthiest, and most productive lives possible. Their hemp-derived CBD products have a wide variety of uses, from helping sore muscles to skin hydration and minimizing skin irritation. They generate results based on your specific needs. Elevate your lifestyle with the new wave of wellness. Visit hightideherbal.com to learn more.
Once again, that's High Tide Herbal. All you got to do is go to www.hightideherbal.com and put in the promo code CageMyIQ10 at checkout to receive 10% off your next purchase. That'll wrap things up with tonight's Bellator 272 Sergio Pettis versus Kyoji Horiguchi preview show here with Cage My IQ. As always, I'm your host, D-Bake, and we will be back next time for Bellator 273. So check this out. Put your bets in. Enjoy the fights. And then we will talk to you guys next time. See ya.